You've already won. I know that sounds almost cruel right now. Because if you have won, why does your chest feel this tight? Why are you lying awake at 3 in the morning trying to figure out what you are doing wrong? Why does it feel like every single thing you ever truly wanted is somehow just a little bit out of reach? Like a door that keeps closing just before your fingers touch the handle. But hear me. You have already won. And the reason you can't feel it yet, the reason your body is still braced for disappointment, is that nobody ever taught you what winning actually feels like from the inside. I want you to think about the last time you really wanted something to change. I'm not talking about a casual thing, a casual wish. I mean the kind of wanting that takes over your whole life. You think about it first thing when you open your eyes. You carry it with you through every conversation. You check your phone obsessively, hoping for a sign, a message, a number, anything that proves it's coming. Maybe it was someone's attention you were starving for. Maybe it was money, the kind of money where you could finally exhale and not feel that low hum of panic every time you look at your account. Or maybe it was just a feeling of peace, a real peace, the kind you thought would appear if your circumstances finally lined up. And you did everything. You did everything. You wrote in the journal. You did affirmation. You forced yourself to visualize even when part of you felt ridiculous. And still nothing. Still nothing. Or even worse, it felt like the more you tried, the further away it drifted. Like you were trying to grab water with your hands, and the tighter you squeezed, the faster it slipped through your fingers. That feeling right there. The exhaustion, the quiet desperation, the secret fear that maybe you're just not someone the universe bothers to answer. That feeling is not a sign you're broken. It is a sign you have been fighting a battle that was never yours to fight. Think about that. Because here's the truth that nobody hands you when you first step in onto the path of waiting more for yourself. The moment you truly surrender is the moment you finally win. That's not a pretty quote. It is the most terrifyingly practical thing I'll ever share with you. And once you really get it, not just nod your head, but feel it land somewhere deep in your bones, everything you've been chasing starts turning around and coming straight toward you. So let's pull this apart so you can feel it. Right now, in this very second, your reality is not just a bunch of random events happening to you. It is a mirror. My favorite mirror. Every single thing you see out there is a reflection of something that's happening in here. Your energy, your state, the actual vibration you're living in when no one is watching. Not the words you say out loud, not the version board on your wall. The real you, the one who wakes up at 2 a.m. with a knot in their stomach and checks their phone even though they know there is no notification. The version of you, the one who's waiting, hoping silently, panicking, is sending out a signal so loud it drowns out everything else. And that signal says, I don't have it. I'm incomplete without it. I'm not enough yet. And because the universe is a perfect mirror, it has no choice but to reflect that back, that right back. More waiting, more silence, more distance. Every single time you chase something, you are energetically announcing that you are separate from it. And that announcement keeps it separate. I know, you're thinking, well, then what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and do nothing? Yeah, actually that's exactly it. And here is where it gets strange. It's like that moment in the Matrix when the kid bends the spoon and Neo just stares and the kid says, there is no spoon. And then he explains, it's not the spoon that bends, it's only yourself. The circumstances aren't what need to change for you to be free. You need to change for the circumstances to shift. Doing nothing is not laziness. Doing nothing is not giving up. It's the bravest, most counterintuitive move you will ever make, because it means you stop trying to manipulate the mirror and instead change the face that's looking into it. You stop screaming at the reflection to smile, and you actually let your own face soften. Let your face soften. And when you do that, when you genuinely, even just for a moment, put down the chase, something inside you unlocks so fast it can make you dizzy. I want you to feel that shift right now, physically. Imagine you are carrying this heavy backpack. It's packed with all your hoping, your waiting, your fear that it won't work out, your memories of every past disappointment, your desperate need to control the outcome so you don't get hurt again. The straps are digging into your shoulders. Your neck is tight. Your breathing is shallow. You've been carrying this backpack for years, maybe decades, and you've convinced yourself that if you just carry it a little longer, push a little harder, somehow the reward will arrive. But look what happens the moment you take it off. Just slip it off your shoulders right now in your mind. Feel the sudden lightness. Feel your spine lengthen. Feel your chest open. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to force the river. The moment you let go of the heavy backpack, you automatically start floating downstream. The current catches you, and that downstream, that effortless motion isn't a fantasy. It is the natural state of a life that's aligned instead of forced. But I'm not going to pretend this is easy, because right after you take off the backpack, something happens that most people never get past. There is a silence, a gap. You've stopped chasing. You whispered to yourself, it's already done. And for a second you meant it, and then nothing. No signs, no synchronicities. The phone doesn't ring. The bank account doesn't magically change. The person doesn't text. And into that silence crawls the old voice. The one that knows exactly where you're vulnerable. It says, see, nothing happened. You're a fool for believing this. You are still exactly where you were. Nothing is coming. This moment right here, in the quiet where nothing seems to be happening, is the most dangerous moment in your entire becoming. And it's also the most sacred. Because here is what you've never been told. That silence is not the universe ignoring you. It is not failure. It's alignment. It is alignment. It is reality reorganizing itself, atom by atom, circumstance by circumstance, to match the person you just became when you dropped the weight. It's the bridge between the old you who needed proof and the new you who simply knows. And the only way across that bridge is to keep walking without looking down. To let the doubt move through you like clouds through a sky. Present but not permanent. You don't fight the thoughts. You don't argue with them. You don't try to convince yourself of anything. You just watch them pass. and you make the quietest, most powerful decision a human being can make. You do nothing. You don't go back to checking. You don't go back to begging. You don't reach for the backpack again. You just stay. And if you can stay, if you can survive that silence without abandoning yourself, something inside you solidifies that nobody can ever take away. I'm going to pause us right here for a second, because I want you to do something. This is not just a video you watch and forget. If something is stirring in you right now, that warmth in your chest, that little crack of recognition, I want you to claim it. Yeah. Wherever you are, type in the comments below, I let go and everything flows. Say it. Say it like you mean it. Say it like your entire future is listening, because it is. Don't overthink it. Just let your fingers type it. I let go and everything flows. Go ahead, I'll wait. Because the act of declaring it, even in the comment, starts sealing this into your nervous system. And when you see others typing the same thing, you will realize you're not crazy and you are definitely not alone. You are doing this together. But I want to take this even deeper, and I need you fully present with me for this next part. Right now, I'm asking you to do something braver than just an affirmation. Take a slow breath. Close your eyes for just a moment if you can. Now ask yourself, honestly, without editing or judging, what is the one thing you have been clutching so tightly then your hands are tied? What fear? What outcome? What need to control are you terrified to release? What have you been hiding from yourself? Because letting it go feels like free fall. If you feel brave enough, I want you to type that below too. Not for me, but for you. Share it with this community. Just a few words. I'm scared to let go of, or I have been holding on to. There is something about putting it out there, even anonymously, that loosens its grip on you. It's like you finally stop carrying a secret all by yourself. And you will see, when you scroll through what others are sharing, you are not the only one clutching something heavy. We are all releasing together. This is your moment. Go ahead, type it out, and then come back to me. I promise the rest of this will land even deeper. Now let's keep going, because the truth is that surviving the silence is only half the work. The other half, the part that makes this permanent, is what I call embodying your future self now, not tomorrow, not when the evidence shows up, right now, this very hour. And I promise this is not about pretending. No, pretending is when you are still shaking inside and you put a fake smile on top of it, hoping to trick the universe. You can't trick the universe. That doesn't work. And honestly, it's exhausting. Embodying is different. Embodying is a full body recognition that who you are becoming is already alive inside you, and you simply start moving through your day from that truth. Morpheus once told Neo, sooner or later, you are going to realize, just as I did, that there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And that line hits hard because so many of us know all the concepts. We know we are supposed to let go. We know we're supposed to trust. But knowing it intellectually leaves you exactly where you are. Walking the path means you actually get your body involved. You don't wait to become your future self. You embody them right now. If you have decided that abundance is already yours, then stop walking around like someone who's bracing for a financial disaster. You know what that looks like. The tiny hesitations before you buy something you genuinely need. The way you check your balance with your stomach tense. The way you talk about money like it's a scarce, fragile thing that could disappear any second. That version of you is broadcasting lack in every gesture. But the moment you start moving like someone who already has enough, who is safe, who is provided for, without needing any external proof yet, your whole nervous system begins to rewire. Your brain stops scanning for threats and starts scanning for opportunities. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing deepens. People around you can feel it, even if they can't explain it. And in that specific state, you become magnetic to opportunities that the stressed, hungry version of you couldn't even see. The same thing happens if you have decided that love is yours. The person you've been calling in, or the deeper, more connected version of the relationship you are already in, cannot reach a heart that is hiding behind armor. If you are bracing for disappointment, if you have got one hand on the exit just in case, if you're analyzing every word and waiting for the other shoe to drop, you are literally pushing love away with your own protection. But the moment you soften, not because the person changed, but because you decided internally that you are already loved, already chosen, already safe, that shift changes everything. You stop needing constant reassurance. You stop performing, and in that space, intimacy either deepens or the wrong people fall away. Either way, you win. Now, I want you to notice something. None of this required your circumstances to change first. That's the part that messes with people's heads. But it's also the most liberating truth I can give you. Circumstances don't need to change for you to be free. You need to change for the circumstances to shift. That's not spiritual bypassing. That's the actual mechanics of transformation. When you change your internal state, not just your thoughts, but the actual felt sense in your body, you are literally changing the signal you're broadcasting into the field. And reality has no choice but to reorganize around that new signal. I have seen it happen so many times. It stopped feeling miraculous and started feeling like physics. It's actual physics. The outer world simply cannot remain the same once the inner world has authentically shifted. But there is one more piece, and it is the piece most people skip because it's too quiet to advertise itself. Everything we have talked about, releasing the chase, surviving the silence, embodying the future self, it all points to a single hidden gateway that lives inside you right now. And that gateway is the silence between your thoughts, the pause, the gap. The moment you finish one thought and before the next one grabs you, there is a tiny, spacious nothingness. Most people race right past it, filling every gap with more noise, more worry, more mental rehearsals. But that silence, that's where the healing actually lives. The silence between your thoughts is where the healing actually lives. In that gap, you stop being the one who's desperate, the one who's incomplete, the one who's been chasing You just are. You just are. And in that pure being, you remember something your mind could never give you. You are already whole. You are already held. The thing you were chasing was never outside you. It was the feeling of your own presence you'd abandoned. And in that silence, you come back to yourself. To yourself. Remember when I told you something strange was happening? Do you remember that? That was back when we were talking about the mirror. How the more you chase, the more reality pushes it away. But now you can see the whole picture. The strangeness wasn't a punishment. It was a perfect design. The universe was never withholding anything from you. It was waiting for you to stop screaming. I don't have it. I don't have it. Long enough to notice you are standing in a river of everything you've ever wanted. And the only thing blocking the current was your own hands, gripping that backpack, trying to control something that was already flowing toward you. So here is what changes everything. Ready? You have already won. Right now, you have already won. In this exact moment, without a single circumstance rearranging itself yet, you have already won. Because you have finally understood the game. Winning isn't the arrival of the thing. Winning is the internal shift where you stop needing it to validate your worth. And the beautiful paradox is that once you stop needing it, it comes. It comes. Not because you manipulated the universe, but because you finally became the person who could receive it without drowning it in desperation. And here is the recognition that seals this forever. You already chose. The moment you let yourself feel this, even a flicker of it, you chose the quiet path of surrender. Not because it was easy, but because you saw, maybe for the first time, that the fighting was costing you your life. You don't need a dramatic choice between two paths laid out in front of you. That choice happened inside you already, quietly, irreversibly. The instant you recognized the backpack was too heavy and you deserved to set it down, you have already stepped onto the bridge. You are already in the new state. And Morpheus's other question echoes. I can only show you the door. You are the one that has to walk through it, because you are the chosen one. You have been shown the door But look, you are already walking. The door was never some future event. It was this moment, this breath, this soft decision to stop begging the universe and start embodying the one who has already received. So just for now, close your eyes. Close your eyes if you can. Take one long, slow breath in, and as you exhale, feel the quiet victory that's been here all along, waiting for you to stop struggling. The most powerful thing you will ever do for your life is not something you do at all. It is something you allow. You have already won, and it has already begun. Love you. Sleep tight.